Yeah. It's Saturday. You know what that means. Get your ass up and get ready because this is going to be a twisted take on your favorite Saturday show, AFN Live. It's the Red Clay Sports Morning Show. I'm your host, Mr. Magnus. Join with me with the headhunter, the middle linebacker, Rich BK. We got Twisted Torch to my diagonal right. And, this is going to be an unrecognizable face. Oh, actually, no, it is. It is somebody we recognize. It is the flying Hawaiian, J-Rock for life. What's up, y'all?
Hey, I'm happy to be on here with y'all, man. It's been a while.
It's lit. We got J-Rock in.
Oh, yeah. We're having all kinds of surprises this week. Shoot, Twisted Torch had a special guest with K Styles. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that.
See, this is what happens when y'all put in the super chat. You know, keep putting in that super chat, that $5, $10. We start getting the real heavy hitters up in here. It ain't just gas money, man. We have to pay for J-Rock. So, Rich, you want to say something, man?
Yo, man. Yo, wake that ass up. You already know we here. We live. Game day coming up, man. We got a special show for y'all, man. Be in tune. Get ready. Let's get to it. You already know. Right here, we got my boy
You might see something at the bottom. You see something at the bottom. Who is this? Somebody dressed in blue.
That blue on.
Let them know where you from, bro. Let them know what's up, man.
Y'all already know I'm from Brooklyn, representing my New York Giants. Feel me? I'm in a little type of situation with all y'all Falcons fans in here, but I think I can hold my own.
Oh, we got somebody coming in here with you, bro. Don't worry.
You're gonna have all the supporting cast you're gonna need.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. But how y'all doing this morning? How y'all doing?
What's good, brother?
Man.
All right.
Straight, bro. Like Kendall Clark is here, but he ain't coming alone. You know what I mean?
All right. As long as I got a little backup of me, I'm good.
No, you good. I'll tell you. I think you'll be able to hold your own. You know, people speak highly of you, so I know you're gonna be able to hold your own. You know, as long as you spit facts, that's all that matters, man. So you're here for a reason, brother.
Yes, sir. That's what I like.
All right. So we're gonna jump right into it. First topic is like Twisted's take. We have our resident, the Black Ab Schefter. You know, Twisted. Subscribe to the channel. Jumpman T. Twisted Torch TV on Yahoo. Let them know.
Hold on. We got somebody else coming in the chat for you. We got somebody else coming in the chat for you.
That didn't take long at all.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Hey, but shouts out to my brother down there, Picasso with a pen, new music out. Go ahead and stream that on Apple Music and Spotify. He gonna tell you about it. But let's get into Twisted Take. When he come on, he gonna tell you how he feeling. He down there with you, my brother. But hey, as far as the Falcons, we're missing 2 players. AJ Terrell will not play due to concussion. In steps TJ Green. I'm looking forward to see how he reacts. He made a lot of plays during the preseason, so I think he has some chances to make plays. The New York Giants have some good wideouts, as you see. I feel like they got 3 and they got 2 tight ends and a running back, so we don't get to chopping about all that. I promise you that. We also will not have Russell Gage. He's out due to an ankle injury, as you saw versus the Buccaneers. He was hobbling a lot, which cost us. I think, personally, you can't be hobbling out there. You got to sit your ass on the sideline. But he won't play, so it's Zacchaeus. I'm looking for more reps from you, my brother, another deep threat person. And we got the 2 tight ends. Let's use these 2 tight ends to the best of our ability. I'm hoping that Arthur Smith is able to open up the playbook a little bit more for Matt Ryan in that offense. I want to see passing and running from them, Arthur. Let's see how this matchup works. We got 2 0-2 teams looking to get a win. So in the Meadowlands, every time we play the G-Man at their home, it's a good game. Y'all remember 2015, 2013. All good games, man. Odell Beckham first year, he caught a touchdown on Trufant. That was a nasty one. That was his coming out party. Yeah, 2015, he had a touchdown versus Robert Alford. So the Giants and the Falcons have had some great matchups. We haven't played Daniel Jones yet. I'm anxious to see how that will go. We are able to make amends for what we did versus week 1 versus another mobile QB. Let's see how we can adapt to Daniel Jones. People think he's slow. That guy is not slow. He's 6'6". He got long stride. If he would have had a 60, 70-yard touchdown. So I already know what to expect from Daniel Jones. Me and my OG talk about him all the time and what they see. So let's get into it, man. Y'all didn't come just for Twisted Take. Let's get into the matchup. Giants, Falcons. Let's get it.
Let's do it.
Wait, before we even get into it, man. Because we have us and the Giants fans have one thing in common. We both had a wide receiver that we thought was down for the cause and end up leaving. I want to know, particularly for Giants fans, how do y'all feel about Odell? Do y'all still got love for him down in New York, or do y'all? Or how y'all feel about the way we feel about Julio? You know what I'm saying?
Damn, man. You put him on the spot early.
Who want to go first?
Yo, Picasso, you can go. Oh, you go first, bro. You go first, man.
Yo, man. I got love for Odell. I love what he did when he was with us. I just believe he just believed in the hype a little bit too much, you know. He wasn't really humble. We gave him the money. You know, you can't be bringing Lil Wayne on the show and then talking about your quarterback. Like, you know, that was kind of left field. And mind you, Lil Wayne is not even a Giants fan. So I don't know how that even like where was the balance in that? You feel me? But all in all, man, he's a great player. I don't have no hate for him. You know what I'm saying? I hope, you know, he come back better than I'll be just getting over his ACL with the Browns. The Browns damn sure need him. Yo, man, nothing but love from me, man. Picasso got nothing but love for Odell. He really shined when he was in our uniform, and I like to continue to see him shine. You know what I'm saying? As a brother, you know.
Unless we talk about that Packers game, we ain't want to talk about that, right?
No.
That's all good. I'm messing with you. Yo, Kendall Clark, you want to add something to that? How you feel about Odell, man?
I'm gonna keep it real. I do miss Odell, but life goes on. It's a business. Right. He got traded. Life goes on. I feel like the media and certain people made him look like he was much more of a villain than he actually is. He really didn't cause that many distractions, but I mean, we're in the media capital of the world, New York, so they're gonna look for anything to try to destroy you. But he's still my favorite receiver. He's still my guy. I still got him in all my fantasy leagues. I hope he come back this season. And dog, but I got love for Odell. I wish we get him back, but
right.
One thing I must say, he hasn't been the same since he left us. So I'll take it. I'll take it with a grain of salt.
I mean, you might be able to get him back. You know what I'm saying? Like Cleveland, they look like they doing work without him. You know, so you might. But it looked like they counted down at 3. I see red and white, but it's not Falcons colors. It looked like that's the Giants alternate colors. Man, what is this right here?
Let them know where you from, bro. Let them know what's up.
I came in at the right time. How's everybody doing? Everybody all right?
Another day, bro. It's a blessing.
Right.
Yes, sir. The topic was, bro, it's like, how do you feel about Odell? Before we get into like the matchups and whatnot, it's like, you know, we feel how we feel about Julio. It's like, how do you feel as a Giants fan about Odell? You still got a little animosity, or you straight? It's like, on to the next
one. It's no animosity, and it's definitely on to the next one because again, it's a business. You understand that part, but I also feel like with John Mara, we didn't quite understand Odell. You know, so I feel like he wasn't given the grace. Yeah, he wasn't given the grace. And just like certain opportunities where, you know, he's not, the distraction thing was a little bit off where, okay, he's still putting up, he's going to give you 1,200 yards, you know, double-digit TDs. I feel like the Giants' way is, you know, trying to get people to conform. I'm not going to say it's a Patriots way almost, but, you know, we're coming from that Parcells tree where it's like, okay, get in line and continue on. But Odell, you know, he's a superstar. It is what it is. Odell does at a point. I don't want to say he's bigger than the game, but you saw the hair, and you're like, okay, that's Odell. People across the world see the hair, they're like, that's Odell. I feel like he just didn't get the right backing by, you know, upper management. He didn't get the right backing by the media because technically he's never done anything that's cost you a game. What, a 15-yard penalty?
Exactly. Off of emotion.
You know, so it's like
it's emotion.
Right.
Unless it's Josh Norman line up against them.
Yeah, Josh Norman deserved that.
One thing I would say is that you see these two fellas over here, my son Kendall and Commissioner Ken below. Those are two of my best friends, and they told me that Julio was going to end up leaving at one point, and I ain't gonna lie. I'm saying this live right now. The whole world's seeing this right now. We did not see this coming at first, and I ain't gonna lie. It did hurt us, the Falcons fan, but the way how it happened, it was real chaotic. I know most of you guys don't really know how it happened, but with Arthur Blank and all that stuff, a lot of miscommunication. Arthur Blank really wanted Julio to finish his career at Atlanta, but as a player, Julio is his own man, and he had other plans somewhere else, and it was literally miscommunication on how that went about. But it was bad the way how it ended. I like how you spun that.
It was. I like how you spun that, Rich, because they wasn't saying all this mess when this stuff was going on. They were calling that man by real name, Quintorius. They were saying he could go, he could be out, blah 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 blah. But as you can see with Giants fans, I want Atlanta Falcons, before I go into the comments and shout y'all out with a roll call, I want y'all to see exactly how Giants fans, other fans, respond to somebody that don't want to be on the team. They moved on. You said on to the next one. Okay, they play with emotion and not be emotional. Okay, the guy didn't want to be here. It's over. It's done. We got Kyle Pitts. They moved on to the next one. They got Sterling Shepard. They got Saquon. They got Daniel Jones, and they got Evan Ingram. They got and they got Kenny Galladay. They moved on. You know what I'm saying? So let's move on. If you're still harboring that type of emotion behind that, then find yourself another team. Tampa Bay is hiring. You got New Orleans. You got Green Bay. Go to another team. You know what I'm saying? Be a Jets fan. We don't care. But don't. But yo, J-Rock, you want to add anything to that before we move on?
I mean, the stories are really similar. I would say Odell's more of a diva than Julio. That's just my opinion. I mean, Julio did do some stuff on the quiet, but
he did.
You can tell, like, look what Odell was doing, like out there, like on the field, like hitting himself with the goalpost, like he was doing goofy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, good player, but he just acted up, man. You can tell, like he just, like I said, he was an awesome player. But I think the real hype was it started with that catch, and ever since then, he got the spotlight. Ever since then, so I feel like their stories are somewhat similar, but it's still the same outcome. You mean they're not on the team anymore. We pretty much moved on. So we're kind of feeling how you Giants fans are feeling right now, as far as like Julio leaving us. It's like, so we gotta get used to like going into the season and moving forward. Like, hey, like we don't have that star player no more. So it's like new regime, new team. So we gotta move on.
And so this is one thing. This is one thing I want to say before we get out of here. For the Giants fans here, and even people that aren't Giants fans, we had somebody who's probably the most destructive player ever on and off the field in Lawrence Taylor. Okay, all right. I don't know if y'all ever heard the Belichick stories that you've had. Like, Belichick is a stickler for being on time. Belichick, the story was, I remember I was watching it, it's him and Nick Saban going back and forth on NFL Network. Yeah, and he's like, the meeting starts at 11 a.m. Lawrence Taylor didn't get there. He goes, all right, the meeting doesn't start until Lawrence Taylor gets here. So if you can take the headache, like, I understand, the media portion, but it's like you have to find a coach that understands Odell Beckham. Like, previously, you mentioned, how, running to the goalpost, but it's like, okay, running to the goalpost, but then you're producing 1,600 yards and double-digit TDs. It's like, I'm reading the comment right now. I don't know if I'm going to go into like the super chat, but I just feel like certain players are game breakers and are worth the headache. It's like, okay, are you going to put up with Odell? Are you going to put up with Lawrence Taylor when it can pay off and they're under 25? So like that is just my thing. As somebody who's young, I'm like, yeah, I understand further on, like, okay, it takes time to mature, especially being in the limelight. The catch was great, but he also backed it up with the production. So that's all.
Yeah, but Lawrence Taylor produced wins.
Yeah.
He can change a whole game plan. The thing with Odell is he needs somebody help to get wins. Like Eli has to get him a win. The offensive line has to help him. Lawrence Taylor can wreck a whole game plan and get you 6 sacks, strip fumble, INT, touchdown. You know what I mean? So it's just a tough situation. Then that's different era too. It wasn't as much media when Lawrence Taylor played.
It definitely wasn't as much media, but we have to remember Odell accounted for that playoff year. Odell accounted for like 3 wins by himself, taking a slant, 80 yards. You know, the defense was doing its thing, but Odell would take a slant 80-something yards, and it's like, okay, we've never seen this before. Odell is making it, taking a reverse and, running at 45 yards. So it's like, yeah, you need your team, of course. And LT, of course, LT needed Belichick. He needed the stunts. He needed, to be in that DE, that outside linebacker position, So, again, it's not like basketball, baseball, where it's just only you. You just need the proper components and the proper pieces. So, again, like y'all already see, I'm of the mindset where everything has to come, everything has to be right. Like, just for you guys, like, you guys have Julio, right? You guys had Julio. I believe Julio should have been used in the red zone a little bit more, like just the percentage. If you're looking at it, if you're looking at the numbers, he wasn't targeted.
We know.
I mean, Julio was on a pitch count. Julio was on a pitch count. But I will say this. Lawrence Taylor, LT is the reason why LTs get paid. So Lawrence Taylor is the reason why left tackles get paid the money that they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
He revolutionized the game, for sure.
When you can break somebody's leg on Monday Night Football, you break somebody's leg on Monday Night Football. You already know.
I was about to say that. I was about to be like, yo, he said, you know what I'm saying? Lawrence Taylor only needed cocaine, man. He didn't need Belichick. He didn't need none of that. Just give him some coke. He was in there. He was wrecking everything. He's a man. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it a stack. You know what I'm saying?
He exposing the truth. Okay.
Yeah, it's facts though. It's facts, bro.
Yeah, he needed coke, man. That's all. That was a different era, bro. Yeah, different era. Yeah. Different era for sure, bro.
That's when football was football, not now.
We can lay helmets out back then. Personal fouls and stuff like that. They were clotheslining people back then, bro.
About 3 seconds after the quarterback that threw it in the air, they was getting clotheslined, bro. You already know.
With the one bar.
I tell you.
Right.
We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the next one. We got 2 0-2 teams right now. Bart Scott on ESPN Radio. You already know how I feel about ESPN, but Bart Scott on ESPN Radio talk about this is the bump what he says. All right, there's 2 0-2 teams that happen to be in a circumstance that they're 0-2. There's reasons why they 0-2. Okay, now, oh boy.
Whoa!
Yeah,
the great one is in the building. Okay, you don't go to the next topic without introducing me. Whoa!
On the off day too. On the off day.
Mike, what you did? You put your quarter in late, man. Everybody was playing the game. You put your quarter in late, man. We were waiting for you.
Hey, man, I just came in here to raise some hell. Turn that 16 size shoe sideways so I can stick it up straight up your candy ass. That's all I got to say. About them Giant fans. I'm talking about them Giant fans down there. Y'all know who I'm talking about. That's all I got to say. I'm good.
So
wow, he out like that.
That's OG. That's OG right there. He good.
My man come in, he does that Batman puff of smoke and he out. That's it.
He out.
That's what it is.
He must got a Batman call or something, bro. He was out there quick.
But both teams are 0-2, man, and it's just by a matter of circumstance. Like we could have got that win last week, but our punter couldn't do his job. You know what I'm saying? Like the Giants could have got a win last week, but you know what I'm saying? Things happened with Tyler Heineke.
We won. We was robbed, but it's all right.
Yeah, that was corny.
No, we ain't talking about being robbed on here, man. You want to talk being robbed? 2-8-3 is being robbed, man.
Yeah, that's that's a collapse, bro. That's
we staying on it. So like, all right, so it's 0-2. We know it's gonna be a head to head. You know, I think throughout this game is gonna be throughout 4 quarters is gonna be a good battle head to head, and I think whoever could capitalize on the turnovers portion and who can control the time of possession, because both teams like to run the ball, like to take their time going down the field. So the time of possession is going to play a big factor in this game, and the turnover battle as well. Who can take care of the ball the most? But who's supposed to say one team might get blow out? I'm just throwing out in the air, so I'm just saying.
Oh,
so
I'll just
pass it on. I'll just pass it on. I'm just, just saying.
Damn, you call them blowout.
I mean, we haven't blown them out in the previous 3 games, so I don't know if that's going to be possible.
It's been close games.
It's been close games.
2023. It's close.
Yeah, I know. I had just throw it in the air. That's all right.
Yeah. But my question to y'all is
24-2 BS, you know. Except for that 24.
Oh my God! Hey, don't bring that up. I ain't talking to like 2 months after that loss, bro. Don't bring that shit up.
I was just about to say they're retiring Eli's jersey that day, and when Eli's in attendance, I don't think the Falcons beat Eli.
That's a lie. They did beat Eli. Don't lie like that. They did beat Eli. Don't lie like that. 2015 they beat Eli. Don't do it like that, bro. He does have a better record on us than Matt Ryan. I ain't gonna lie about that. I think he's like
about to say that.
I think he's like 3-1 or 4-2 or something like that. Cause we we blew y'all out in 2012. 38-0.
2012.
That was the last time they was at the Georgia Dome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Y'all want to bring that up? Okay, but yeah, Eli does have a better record than Matt Ryan, though. We ain't gonna lie about that. We haven't played Daniel Jones though. So my thing is, do y'all believe Saquon is a home run back? Do y'all think he could be an all-purpose back? That's why I meant to ask y'all that.
Good question.
Saquon is an all-purpose back. He could do it running and catching. I feel like he's more dangerous as a runner, but if you put him in situations where he has to catch the ball and get you yards, he's doing that. He's a once in a generation type of running back. He's a generational back, and I feel like once he recovers from his injury, he's gonna be back to old Saquon. And you saw bursts of it last week in a few of his runs. But our situation is our offensive line needs to get their stuff together. In the second half of the Washington football team's game, we had 2 different O-linemen coming. You could see the difference in the run lanes and the way he runs the ball, so he feels more comfortable. So I'm looking for him to take that next step this week to see how he runs. So Saquon's my guy.
Washington, D line too. They are no joke.
Exactly.
Seeing that substitution that that the Giants did, and you saw different results as far as how Saquon was running the ball.
Right.
Hell, even Daniel Jones. I mean, Daniel Jones. I think he's the leading rusher on y'all team right now.
Which is sad. Right?
He is.
Freaking sad.
He is. With less rushes too.
Yeah. I mean,
and zone read.
He's putting the team on his back, man.
Yeah.
I'm
not gonna lie. I was gonna add on and just say I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, I'm real happy of his progression. Definitely because the last 2 seasons, rookie season and then last year, he kind of like, to me, he kind of was like in the funk. But this year, he looks a little bit more confident and a little bit more sure of himself. That O-line definitely does. It means a lot, on both sides. Both teams is kind of like the same story. But like building off what the brother was saying, like in the second half of that game, he was standing up a lot more and way more confident in that pocket and was delivering and throwing strikes. Like, I'm like, damn, that's Daniel Jones, like for real. But yeah, man. I just think Saquon just got to get his legs up under him and the continuity. That's the main thing about the Giants. Them OTAs and missing all of that, and then getting those new players like Galladay and stuff like that. Our continuity is really off, and you could kind of see it. Just through the first two weeks, it's like, damn, like dude's mad that he not getting open, but you got to get open, cause separation. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think once Saquon gets, like facts, like he's mad on the sideline arguing with whoever, Garrett or Danny, looking at him like, dude, just get separation. We're paying you a lot of bread. But yeah, man, I think once Saquon gets back healthy and stuff like that, and then the players come back that we need to come back, like we missing X-Men, like Zimenez, for real. He just, I like him when he's in there. He causes a lot of more disruption, and then a lot of more other players get to the quarterback. So it's both like the same thing. I believe once Saquon is a home run hitter, but he got some ways to go. He got a couple more games, man, before he get his legs up under him. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, Kenny Commissioner, go ahead, finish it off, man. You got something.
Yeah, how you feel, bro?
For both teams, like I'm just gonna piggyback on what my two fellow Giants fans said, where it's O-line for both teams, but more so for both teams is gonna be play calling. Like I've noted, like I've watched a game and a half of the Falcons, and I watched obviously both Giants games, where it's like the play calling is that it's that decisive factor, where you mentioned you seen Danny in the pocket, standing strong and going with the RPO, and then you get a pick with 2 minutes left, and none of that is getting ran. So I know for both teams, especially both teams with offensive coordinators who are within their second season or less with the team, you want to make the right play calls to put people in the right positions to win. So that's pretty much it for me. I was like, it's O-line and play calling for both teams.
Hey, Rich, you not slick, bro. You not slick, Rich. You not slick. I see what Rich got going on. Rich like me. All my homies know Falcons football, and they know their team. I see what you got going on, Rich. You brought two great people on, bro. And I brought my homie on. See, they know Falcons and Giants.
Yeah, man. We only bringing the real on this show, man. Obviously everybody in the comments, man. Shout out to y'all other teams. Everybody's more than welcome to come on this show, and we could talk football, good football. All love. We just vibing. That's all it is, man. What's the next thing, man? We're moving on to.
But I just want to say one thing, though, man.
Yeah.
Because we got actually people that understand what they're talking about. See, we have a segment here called "Say It with Your Chest," and so far, people that came on here and they said it with their chest and they ain't saying nothing. They running their mouth and they ain't saying nothing. Like these guys literally coming on here with information and factual information, not on just their team, but our team as well. It looked like people was up there with Encyclopedia Britannica, and it was like going through all kinds of Falcons information and whatnot. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, that's that. Look, we're both 0-2, and I think we know the situation. So it's like a mutual respect. It's like
absolutely.
We can say some slick stuff because we 0-2, but we got a level of respect right now.
You can say slick stuff, but you can't say much.
Somebody gotta get a W.
Exactly. Somebody gotta get a W.
Oh, not the troller. Not the troller. He's a troller.
First of all, that name, I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah, he's a troller.
Yeah, real wild. Yeah,
for that fight, for that move up.
You wrong for that name, pimp. Change that name, brother. I saw you subscribe, so I'm going to show you love, but change that name, bro. Please. But, hey, do y'all have a question for us, though, regarding the Falcons?
Yo, this is. I'll defer. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
My question would be: is acquiring Arthur Smith what you guys expected right now, as far as play calling wise? Because in my humble opinion, I don't feel you guys are utilizing Kyle Pitts the way he's supposed to be used.
Preach, brother.
So, my personal opinion, I feel like Kyle Pitts should not have his hand down. He needs to be split out wide, violent in DBs. And you guys are not using him like that. You guys are trying to use him like a Jeremy Shockey or one of these blocking tight ends, which he could block, but that's not his game. So I feel, what is you guys' opinion?
You're right.
Who want to go first?
You got it.
Go ahead, J-Rock.
I'll go. Okay, I definitely understand what you're saying, and I do agree with you. I feel like right now, since we didn't really play any of these guys in preseason, nothing like that. Based off what I've seen in film when he was in Tennessee, offensive coordinator, he likes to hide his tight ends next to the linemen. So yeah, I would love to see him line up like against like on the inside next to Calvin Ridley or something like that. But I don't know. I'm just curious to see what he could do. Like last week, he hit him next to a lineman, and then you saw him block JPP, which I was very surprised because I never knew that Kyle Pitts could freaking block. But then I started to realize this dude is like 6'6", 6'7", and JPP is like looking at him like trying to, it's, I don't know. I feel like he can be used in a lot of ways. I think he's okay for right now. I think he's just trying to get comfortable. I think that's what it really is. And I think last week was like almost like a breakout. Like, okay, I can either line up or I can either line up next to a lineman and then get motioned out from there and then go when the ball is hiked. So I think they're still trying to figure out how to use him right now. But I would like to see more of him and Hurts together so then it can really cause big issues because it's like, okay, because Hurts can also line up next to lineman too and then break out too in a route too. So it's like it's different stuff that can happen, not just Kyle Pitts. So I agree with you on that one. I feel like he needs to be utilized a lot more. But I think Arthur Smith is trying to figure some stuff out of what works.
Definitely.
Somebody else can go.
I think
I'll go off that,
what you call it. Oh, you want to go? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go off that. I ain't gonna lie, Arthur Smith, these first 2 weeks, if y'all watch my channel, subscribe to Twitch TV, I've stated Kyle Pitts and Hayden Hurst need to be the X factors to be able to open up plays for Calvin Ridley. When you draft Kyle Pitts at number 4, you have to be expected to have at least 10 to 12 targets a game. And I feel like Arthur Smith is getting his groove in to use him and certain assets of the game. Because in that Eagles game, he didn't use him as much. But if you watching that Buccaneers game, he started to change his dynamic of what he expects. So when the offensive line gels much better, he's going to be able to run better plays to get Kyle Pitts open. I feel like he's not trusting the offense enough, and then Matt Ryan is flustered because every time you look, it's somebody already touching his leg, touching his hand, and he can't even look for Kyle Pitts like that.
No, that's true.
Those 2 deep plays he had versus the Bucs, though, when he had time, Kyle Pitts was wide open. It's like, damn, this motherfucker he can't be guarded. You know what I'm saying? So you have to find that mismatch and go with Kyle Pitts first. I understand you want to get that running game going. Shit, I do too. I want to make sure we can run the ball too. But you have to make defenses know we're going to throw the ball to Kyle Pitts.
Right. And let me back you up on that one. That's why I feel like how Arthur Smith is using him. He wants to hide him. Because everybody knows, like, oh, when they see Kyle Pitts is on the line, they're like, oh, shit, like, all right, let's recognize a little bit. That's why I feel like they're trying to hide him a little bit. Because I feel like if they hide him, he's not really going to be – I feel like either way, he's still going to be a target to look at. It's still like, watch out, like, oh, shit, he's on the line. But I see what you're saying, Twisted, because when he was on that line, I mean, of course, when they were sending 6, we had to use him. We had to use him for blocking. We had nothing.
Nothing. But on those 2 routes, though, you saw that 40-yard play and then that 30-yard play. Like, he's able to – once he's able to get in space, he can make plays.
Right. He's got to find his spots. He's just getting used to it.
Yeah. He's going in slow because he's a rookie, I think, too. Like, he wants to make sure he doesn't get flustered too fast. And, shit, we ain't seen Kyle Pitts drop a pass yet.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And you know what's so funny? I believe some of us were talking about it, too. You know, a lot of people don't realize how that Florida weather is, and it can be like real humid. Kyle Pitts is from Florida. That shit didn't bother him. So I'm looking forward to a lot of seasons where he can like just go crazy because he's used to that weather.
X factor.
Yeah. No, I think y'all X factor. I think y'all X factor is Kyle Pitts, but Cordell Patterson, he didn't look too shabby, man. I wonder why y'all went away from him. He was really producing. I wonder why y'all just don't really pay attention to the cat a little bit more, especially week 2. He put y'all in the game, and then y'all went away from him. But I understand it's the same thing, that O-line. Everybody's scrambling, and Maggie had happy feet. So I totally get it. He had to have the tight end block for him and stuff like that. Yo, Cordell, man, that was an awesome pickup. When I seen him I looked at Twitter like, yo, y'all got Cordell Patterson? He was like, yeah. I'm like, damn. But I think if y'all utilize him a little bit more, I think it'll loosen it up, because as you see in the first 2 games, everybody's doubling. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's doubling Red. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's doubling him. So, you know, I think he can catch. We know he can catch, and damn sure I didn't know he can run like that. So y'all do have X factors, man. So
I seen that. I'm saying I knew he could run like that though, even prior to when he was in Chicago and all this stuff. Like, a lot of people see Cordell as just a return specialist and as a receiver, and I think you're hurting a player when you're doing something like that. But you need to be careful, because being that he's a specialist returner, you don't want to give him too much of a load or too much, because, you know, God forbid, you don't want no injuries or anything like that. So you got to be careful with the load that you're giving him. Now, to address the Kyle Pitts situation, I believe that Arthur Smith is slowly trying to open up the playbook. Now, this is a long season. This is a long season now. We got like 15, 16 games, you know, left. And eventually, as you start to get into the season, you want to slowly open up the playbook. And now with Russell Gage being out, I expect to see Kyle Pitts to be utilized more in the slot. Last week, we seen that play, what Kyle Pitts was doing in the slot. Like, he led the team in receiving yards. He had about, like, I think 85 receptions or something, 85 yards for like 6-8 catches. So I expect him to be utilized more. And he even posted it this morning, like he's expecting a breakthrough tomorrow. So I know y'all seen that.
Like that,
And Kyle Pitts might get his first touchdown tomorrow as well. God willing.
It all sounds good. It all sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. But one thing though, last thing I'll say. But like, the same way how we seen Kyle Pitts used in Florida, like, we would want him to be used the same way. Of course, I agree with that 100%. You know what I mean? But at times, it's hard to realize, because it's college and this is the NFL, you know? And once our offensive line gets better, because right now we got a rookie left guard right now, once he's able to hold up long enough to give Matt Ryan time to throw the ball downfield, we'll see how that happens. We'll see how that plays out. That's it.
Let me add something, though.
Go ahead. You got to talk about it.
Because what is going on with Kadarius Toney?
I knew that question was coming. I swear to God, I knew that question.
Yo, I was waiting.
Speaking of X Factor.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Yo, go ahead. Yo, I'm just start off.
Yo,
Ken, real heavy.
you know where he's at?
Say that again.
My man can't get on the field.
So, like I was talking to Rich yesterday about it. I know during training camp he had like a death in his family. Then he caught COVID, and then he had like a foot injury and a hamstring injury. So that kind of hampered his whole offseason. But in the beginning, like the first game, I saw how Jason Garrett wants to use him, but I feel like we should have used him like that. We're using him more of like a jet sweep guy. Put that man in the slot and let that boy work.
Yeah.
And Jason Garrett has to go. I can't stand him with a passion.
Yeah. He is kind of, you know, he kind of hit or miss. And he's more so on the miss side, you know.
You're right. He's not consistent.
I think they need to. Yeah, it's not consistent. Some of the joints I was seeing him run, I did like some of the plays on the latter part of the second half of that Washington game. But what's up with our D? I'm gonna get to that. Let me get to Young boy, man, he's dope. I've been high on him. I love the pick when we did take him. I'm not going to even hold you. Yo, all you got to do is just bite off of what Kansas City is doing
with Tyreek Hill.
That's it.
It's that
Open
simple,
the game up and just let him run. Like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? If we can take off the top, that'll loosen up. That'll loosen up the line. That'll make Saquon run and get bigger chunks. It'll help all over the offense period as a whole. And I don't get what Jason Garrett is doing. And for him to be like, yo, he gotta wait his turn. you know,
Preach,
you could
brother,
kind of
preach.
sour
That's
a
what he
player.
said?
You could kind of
Preach,
sour.
brother.
Yeah. He said, yo, he gotta wait his turn. Yo, you don't wait your turn when you
What?
get drafted in the first round. You
With
gotta play
especially
like
being
that.
talented
You
like
know what I'm
that.
saying? Yeah,
Yeah,
he's too
so-
talented. He's too talented, too fast, and too much of a weapon that we do need. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. On the offensive side, I do agree. Jason Garrett, he's too much hit of a miss, and he's more so on the miss side. And what's up with our yo? Our defense is like too vanilla.
Patrick
It's too-
Graham.
Yo, it's
Patrick
too
Graham is
vanilla,
shit in the
bro.
bed. Patrick Graham
Yo.
is shit in the bed right now.
Who,
I almost
Heineken?
was done with him when he ran a dollar defense on the goal line. I don't know if y'all paid attention to it.
Yeah. I'm looking at the gap, bro.
What you doing?
I'm looking at the gap, and I'm just like, nobody gonna say anything.
Yeah,
I said, wait, Deuce is
What?
walking back from a timeout. Why we have one D lineman on the goal line? I said, what the fuck are y'all doing?
you know, shit is crazy. Like, this dude is letting Heineken chunk niggas for 15, 20 yards. I'm like, yo, this nigga
In
Heineken
2 plays.
in two plays. Like, he moved down half the field in like 2 plays. I'm like, yo, this nigga is like right at goal line. What did they do?
I think I
Like,
need a drink.
JD
Mm-mm.
Shout out to the
But-
6 man. Shout out to K Styles, man. Seems like both teams got the same problem, man. You know, we both 0-2. You know,
These are the two things I want to respond to. I want to respond to my Giants fans, and I want to, get you for your perspective from Falcons. But the first thing is just regarding Jason Garrett. Do y'all trust somebody who hasn't called plays in over 10 years being the offensive coordinator?
Who, Jason Garrett?
Yeah, because he hasn't called plays in 11 years.
He was calling plays in Dallas for like 4 years ago before Kellen Moore got there. He was calling the plays.
No, even before Kellen Moore, remember, he was doing it in like a reduced role. He would call plays,
Right,
but it was
okay.
not. Remember, the only people in the league who were calling their own plays was McCarthy and one more person. That was like the only head coaches who were calling plays.
The Chiefs.
Okay.
The Chiefs. Andy Reid and McCarthy. Yeah.
Yeah. So
he calls plays.
when you have a player like Tony, do you think he's handicapped because he's not thinking forward versus Andy Reid, who has been calling plays his entire 30-something career, and he has seen the game change, and somebody like Andy Reid, who was in a division with somebody like Chip Kelly, who's seen how that small explosive kickback can be used, and then he has somebody like Tyreek Hill. So I feel like
bro,
Jason Garrett,
it doesn't help. It doesn't help when you got the human turnstile Andrew Thomas at left tackle.
No, he's been doing good. He gave up 0 sacks this season. He gave up 0 sacks. 4
but
pressures
the thing
the
is,
whole
like,
season.
do you trust him? Do you trust
Right.
him?
I mean, right now, yeah, I give him. I trust him right now. He's
Okay.
improved. You gotta watch improvement. He was a rookie.
Okay.
and the second part of this, I wanted to ask. This is geared towards everybody here, but primarily the Falcons fans. Where we've been speaking about O-line and offense the entire time, but I feel like DBs are an issue here. So how do you guys feel about that? And I know you guys also have an injury as well. So I know AJ's out.
AJ Terrell, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like y'all DB though. I like Bradbury. We seen him play in our division. He's had some great games versus Julio.
And some bad ones. Julio scored.
Anytime
he's right.
Jones, he's fine.
He had some bad games when he played in Carolina.
100 yards on him.
He didn't play that game, bro. He didn't play that game.
Who?
He didn't play. He wasn't guarding Julio in that game. They had Ben Wickery guarding him most of that game.
I thought he did. Oh, okay.
No, Ben Wickery got fired after that game. Number 25 was guarding him most of that game, but he got fired right after that game, bro. He probably was guarding the second receiver some of that game, but he wasn't really guarding Julio in that scheme during that time. 2015, 2016, he was guarding him heavy. Well, 2014, 2015, he was guarding him heavy.
For the most part, to being that AJ is going to be out, so expect to see number 39. That's TJ Green. He's typically like a hybrid, like a safety type / corner type of dude. But our DBs is like right now, the way how Dean Pease is running his defense, everybody is like versatile. Everybody got to know the ins and out of safety, nickel, and corner. So like a lot of guys is being rotated within that field. One thing I just want to make sure, because a lot of these guys used to tell me, yo, man, AJ Terrell sucks, man. AJ Terrell, is terrible. For the most part, coming out of the draft, it seems like AJ Terrell was definitely the best corner coming out of draft. When you see what Jeff Okuda is doing in Detroit, he ain't do shit. He got hurt. I ain't trying to wish no injuries or something. He got hurt, but he ain't really do nothing. And y'all seen last week, AJ Terrell saved us 2 touchdowns or 2 big plays, giving up his body. You see the type of player he is, giving up his body just to, make plays. So I'm tight. He not playing tomorrow, but we'll see how our backup do.
I'm actually looking forward to the 3 safety set this week because they started to run that when AJ Terrell went out with Jalen Hawkins, Hammond, and Harris. I think they might use that a little bit more to cover the weakness of not having AJ Terrell. You know what I'm saying? So that could be key. As far as the Giants, they got 2 good safeties to me personally. I like Jabril Peppers. He's a runner and he's fast. I like Xavier McKinley. I think he's coming back.
Coming along. Yep.
Yeah, so like y'all got some good safeties, and Bradbury can make plays with them safety. That's why I'm basing it off of. I can't base off last year where they didn't really have the secondary help to help with Bradbury. You know what I'm saying? He's taking one man and trying to cover a whole side. That ain't easy. We gotta know that. That's not easy to do.
Go ahead, J-Rock.
I got something to say. So, who I think is going to be our X factor for our DBs, somebody that's familiar with their division, and that's Fabian. I think Fabian Moreau is going to be the one. I feel like he could be the next. He was. Is he a number? I believe he's our number 2 corner.
Yeah, he dropped the pick too.
I gotta trust him because he played in that division, so he knows how. They work like Sterling Shepard. Because the last time we played the Giants, Odell and Sterling Shepard lit us the hell up.
So that game.
That game was a war. Like even though we did one, like that was a war.
Yeah,
but
that was
one
a
thing
shootout.
about the Giants DBs. I would say like your guys got who's your newest guy from Tennessee? Is it Adoree Jackson?
Yeah,
They got Logan Ryan. They got Logan Ryan too.
They got Logan Ryan too. One thing I will say about y'all that I noticed, like y'all secondary group, y'all like to force offenses to throw like underneath, and that's that's one thing I saw like for the past 2 games. It's based on how
that bullshit defense, man. That dude is calling like
that's the dollar defense.
Yeah,
it's the bend but don't break, man. That's what I think that's what y'all do. Bend but don't break.
Yeah, so I will say like y'all pass rush and all that will have to do that they will have to startle us for us to do like mistakes and stuff like that. But I think y'all secondary is like well rounded. Like now that y'all added Adoree Jackson, like even though he had like his downfall year in Tennessee, but like overall I think he's a decent corner.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been looking at how between Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams.
That
should be like between Hennessy and Mayfield is about to get baptized again this week. those 2 guys, you can't see for no 2 guys. You guys' secondary is really good, but being a fact that they line up across from those particular guys, like look, Jake Matthews and Chris Lindstrom better give him some help because I don't think they block him straight up 1-on-1. They're going to have to give him some help.
And I'm gonna
like
tell
you're not
you,
gonna be able to block him 1-on-1 over the course of the game.
One player to look out for is our rookie. I could never pronounce his last name. Ojulari. He's gonna have a big game. He already has 2 sacks, 2 or 3 sacks in 2 games. He's gonna be a problem. He's gonna be a key factor in this game.
Definitely. And y'all know Leonard ain't got a sack yet, right? So he's licking his chop trying to see who he gonna get his first sack on between Mayfield and Hennessy.
Yo, listen, I don't know what it is with y'all Giants drafting these dudes with these last names, but man, they be a freaking name. You got like wild last names.
But look, check this out. This year, This year we got somebody. We got somebody named Ogundeji. You know. So
Yeah, that sounds like a Giants player for sure.
I like him
we have
too.
Owa Diggy Zua.
Yeah, that looks like the Giants.
I mean, if you got a long last name, that means you can rush the passer. That's what it means.
Word.
Right.
Word.
That's what it means. It don't matter how long your last name is. If it's more than 5 letters, you can rush the passer, man.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask Giants fans up something real quick though, because it's always something that always bothers me. Y'all won the last game of the season against Washington last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all win the last game of the season last year?
Oh,
When that
yeah,
kind of
believe
bumped
so.
you up?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask you, like, if you had a choice, if you was to play that again, would you lose it and then get Chase, or are you satisfied with Saquon?
Ooh, I mean,
Chase and Saquon wasn't in the same draft.
They
they were
were.
in
Aren't they
different
in the
drafts.
same draft?
Nah.
Nah,
We took Andrew
Chase
Thomas
was a rookie
instead
last year.
of Chase.
Andrew, okay, so are you satisfied with Andrew Thomas?
Hell no. I would have definitely took Chase Young. I would have definitely took Chase Young.
No comment. I'm gonna just wait and see.
That
He
dude
just
Chase is
got
a monster.
drafted too. Yeah, Chase Young is definitely a beast. You know what I'm saying? But yo, everybody need a good, solid offensive lineman, man. Too. That's where the game is going. You need that. So you got to give homie enough time to kind of develop. You know, you got to give him enough time to kind of develop. You know, you can't just cut his neck off. At least he ain't Flowers. Like, come on, he ain't
But
Flowers.
mind you,
No,
Flowers
come
is
on,
balling
man.
right now.
Come on, man.
Flowers is balling.
Like Flowers set us back, bro. You know, Flowers set us back for real.
And I personally
right
feel
now,
we took the wrong tackle. If we would have took the Mekhi Becton dude the Jets got, we would have been in a better position than now.
Yeah.
And Nate Soldier robbing us.
Yeah, he did. He getting away with free money. Yeah, Soldiers.
He
I'm gonna say though,
I thought Daniel Jones was gonna die when Von Miller came off that edge.
Yeah.
He turned around and looked at him.
He just look. He did get hit. I was happy he got up though. But Von kind of took it easy on him. You know, he didn't blast him, but yeah, Soldier do gotta be a soldier for real, because we paying him a lot of money. We paying him a lot of money for real. He need to take that shit right back to the Patriots. Word.
I mean, this game is going to be one in the trenches, regardless of whatever happens. You know, I mean, the secondary is great or whatever, but I mean, your offensive line got their issues, and damn sure we got our issues too. So whoever could really generate a decent pass rush and be able to move the pocket and push the pocket back to the opposite quarterback's face is going to win a game. Plain and simple. Y'all got weapons. We got weapons. Y'all got defensive playmakers. So do we. It's going to be won and lost in the trenches. You know, it sounds ugly, but I think that's what's going to happen. So, what do you think y'all keys to victory is? I'm actually going to go to Ken. I haven't heard from you in a while, man. Like Commissioner Ken.
No, because I'm just taking it all in. You know, I like hearing other perspectives, especially, I know, like, for real, I love hearing other perspectives from different Giants fans, because, like, it's easy to get trapped in your own realm, like, every fan is different, like, you guys are Falcons fans, and I know there's different pockets of Falcons fans, there's probably pockets of Falcons fans who are saying, you guys should have drafted a quarterback. There are pockets of, Falcons fans who are saying this, that, and the third. So for me, it's always good to hear another pocket of Giants fan perspective on picks and who we should have got, who we shouldn't have got, who's going to pan out, who doesn't pan out. So I was just sitting back and taking it all in.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think is your keys to victory? I might as well just go in order, whatever the way how it's looking like on camera. So you want to go with Ken Commission, and Casio, and Kendall? What y'all think?
Yeah. So first and foremost, we've been talking about this, ad nauseum. O-line play. So you're gonna get O-line play. I'm gonna go offensive play calling. Offensive and defense play calling, because that whole dollar, I was not digging it. So I'm gonna say play calling, but more so on the offense, because they have to take advantage of a hurt secondary. That is terrible. You want to take advantage of the hurt secondary, and also limiting mistakes. That goes for turnovers. That goes for penalties. So I think those three keys right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a
Picasso.
second off. I'm a second off him. Definitely the offensive line is on both sides, but we talking about us. So yeah, shit, man. The offensive line just gotta have Daniel standing up in that pocket. I believe if he could stand up in that pocket and kind of like duplicate what he did in week 2 against Washington football team, then we gonna eat. You know, we definitely gonna eat. But if he gets flustered, then the pendulum gonna kind of swing more so towards you guys' favor. And then again, the defensive play calling, giving up chunks, you cannot do that against, especially this offense. I mean, you know, shit, the Falcons, they got well and ready players, especially from Pitts, especially from Cordell Patterson, and then Mike Davis is just waiting too as well. And then you know, you guys could take over the top with both you guys receivers. So we just can't play vanilla, man. We gotta really go after you guys offensive line and really like throw the whole goddamn parking lot at you guys.
Word.
And I think once we do that, shit, we Gucci. We all right. We kind of manage the game a little bit more, you know. So I believe that's our keys to victory. And then let Saquon, you know, let Saquon running and get his legs up under him, and you know, we do our thing, you know. But other than that, if we don't do that, shit, it might be a long game for us.
Yo, go ahead, Kendall.
What I feel like the keys to victory is, I feel like whoever converts the most on third down wins this game, because both of our teams struggle in that area.
Yeah,
third down conversion is something both the Falcons and Giants have been struggling.
I'm gonna disagree with that.
Second, I'm gonna agree with my fellow Giants fans. Offensive line play. I feel like if we take Grady Jarrett out the game, we're good. We're good. Saquon will have a field there because I don't have that much confidence in anybody else in you guys' D-line to really stop Saquon. So once Grady Jarrett's out the game, I think Saquon will have a big day. And lastly, turnovers. Whoever generates the least amount of turnovers wins this game.
Right.
Look like you had disagreement about something, Ken?
Oh no, I was just disagreeing on the third down aspect because I know the Giants currently, you know, just in our division it's the Eagles are top 10, and like we're just like right outside of there. We're top 13. I think we're 13 to 12. It's like a tiebreaker. Giants did convert a lot of third down conversions.
That was generated based off of the Washington game or just the whole season?
No, past two games. So like right now, Giants are converting the third downs. It's just that we're not scoring. That's more so of the issue right now. Like we scored last game, but the first game, the third downs would get it converted, but on the flip, we were giving up a lot of third downs. So I would say not giving up third downs versus us converting third downs.
That's okay. You know what's great? Thank you for correcting. That's what I meant. Stopping the third down. That's what I meant.
Let me add on too. We gotta be disciplined. All of that offside shit and all of that next one, that's why I said limited. The discipline, man.
That's why I said limiting mistakes, whether it be penalties or whether it be penalties or whether it be turnovers. So I was like, you got to limit the mistakes.
That's a fact.
That's dope.
I think I could actually go even further than that. You know, make this game ugly. If you're the New York Giants, make this game ugly. You got, I mean, I call him safe squat because of the size of his legs, but you basically got a dude back there that look like he don't skip leg day. I mean, so do we, but you got to make Saquon Barkley a factor in this game. Don't make him be a decoy or anything like that. Feed that man. Because one thing about the Atlanta Falcons is that we're undersized on the line, and we have undersized linebackers too. So if you
now that you
I
mention that too, I get on Richardson on this a lot. Matt Ryan, when you crowd the line, makes mistakes.
Oh yeah,
it is.
He gets flustered.
Like,
happy.
You know, so you want to crowd the line. You want to bring the DB down. We've seen it with Tampa. Tampa brought the DB. They brought two DBs down, and they were like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna go." My bad. I don't know.
You good, Ken. We saw love. It's all love. We you know, you gotta say, you saying it with your chest, bro. We saying you talking that shit, bro. That's it, man. That's all that matters. Yo, but look though, I'm gonna send my dog at you though. My son Twisted got this right now. My son gonna hold it down, and then we're gonna head into the Falcons keys to victory. Then J Rock, you know, you started up Twisted, and then J Rock, I'll go, and then Magnus will go.
So this is pertaining to the fluster of Matt Ryan when you crowd the line. Yeah, I feel like that happens sometimes, but there's also times where he kills people for blitzing on a lot of people. You can send blitzes you want to, but if that read is picked up, your ass is grass. You gotta know that, right? You gotta know that, right?
I know that, but the thing is, hold on. Here's the thing. I knew you were gonna resort. I knew that was gonna be the retort, and I was also gonna tell you, it is not 2016.
It ain't just been 2016.
Ryan does not pick up.
So if we go back to last year's stats, Matt Ryan is his top 5 versus the blitz. If you want to be technically honest, you can look it up. You can look it up.
Facts.
Bang bang.
And we got blitzed a lot.
Facts.
We got blitzed a lot now. I wasn't even it looks bad.
I didn't say the blitz. I said zero blitz. Zero blitz is what we're talking here. Not just any blitz.
That's what happened in the goal line. That's what when we played against the Bucks. When we played against the Bucks and we was going on 4th down, it was zero. It was zero coverage. It was no blitz. Calvin Ridley ran that slant, touchdown. Then followed by the 2-point conversion, read option. Hold on, Matty Ice 2. You feel me? But what's your 3 keys to victory?
I watched the game.
I know. What's the 3 keys to victory, Twisted?
For the Falcons to win?
Yeah.
All right, so red zone stops on defense. We have to be able to stop people from scoring. At the end of the day, you're gonna give up a lot of yards in a game. That shit don't matter. If you're able to stop a team from scoring touchdowns and kick field goals, you have a better possibility of winning the game. And as you saw over these first 2 weeks, we haven't been able to stop people from scoring touchdowns. We did a couple times versus the Eagles when we had those 2 4th down conversions, but we haven't been able to stop people from scoring touchdowns. DP stated, I don't care if Matt Ryan turns the ball over, if they get a fumble, wherever they at, you're supposed to make a play to stop them from scoring a touchdown. So that's my first one. My second key, Kyle Pitts, Hayden Hurst. Whenever they're in the fold and they're making plays, you have a better chance to score touchdowns. I personally feel like that. And Cordell, of course, is too, but I just have to see how he's going to incorporate Cordell now that teams know we're going to use him a lot more. So once you base that off on the defense is planning to do versus you, then you can go ahead and make adjustments to see what you best have a chance to score with. That's my second one. Third one, we got to blitz Daniel Jones. We got to get him flustered. Like you said, get Matt Ryan flustered. Let's get his ass flustered too. We got to have him hurrying up those throws. As you saw, he made a couple good throws versus Washington, but the receivers dropped the pass. That wide open play where that corner, or not that corner, that safety dropped down because he was throwing so many short routes, and Slayton was wide open. I don't know how he dropped that pass, but like that. We can't have miscues like that. 9 times out of 10, if Daniel gets that same play, they're going to get it versus us. They're going to make that play versus the Falcons. So we can't give up those deep plays. Blitz Daniel Jones, get him off the spot. When you're on defense, your linebackers, D-ends, follow your cues. Do not guess. If you are meant to get the QB, stay with the QB. If you are meant to get the running back, stay with the running back. Don't switch it up because you think you're a fucking hero. We don't need heroes. We need guys to do their position and make plays.
We're talking to you, Stephen Means.
What you got, J-Rock?
No, Twisted said everything right. I feel like the defense is going to have to win us this game. We need to get key stops, especially in the red zone. I also want to say we need to start off fast. We can't have these damn slow starts. I'm tired of seeing that because we looking like old Falcons where we had slow starts, and then once we start to get hot, and of course we either win the game by a field goal. We can't have no slow starts anymore. Also, we all know that the Giants have more injuries than us right now, especially at key positions. So, like, they have what's that boy name? Y'all center now.
Nick Gates.
I think he got injured or something like that last week.
He
broke his leg or something like that.
Broke his leg.
Right.
Yeah.
So y'all have Billy Price? I think
Billy Price. Yeah.
So like
he came in,
that's Brady all day, man. Like, yeah, they should take an advantage of that. Like, he's an injury replacement, so I think Brady's gonna have his way with that. But
former first round
we
pick.
just can't have slow starts. That's the only thing. We gotta start clicking immediately. So I'm expecting first drive. We picking up from where we left off last week's minus the pick sixes. I'm expecting fast starts in this week's game. But go ahead.
Yeah, so to add on to what you were saying, J-Rock, I was, definitely was going to say that as well. Whoever can get on a fast start, mainly the Falcons. I know we like to run that hurry-up offense primarily in our first drive. That's what we did against Philly and how we scored, just catching them off guard. And we need to apply that pressure on Daniel Jones to make them answer back at their home field. Another thing, I would want us to see the tight ends being used in a vertical presence down in the middle of the field. We haven't seen that as much. I don't think the Giants linebackers and their linebacker core can match up with Hayden Hurst and Kyle Pitts down the middle of the seams. So if we can shut down, moving on, we can shut down Saquon and make Daniel Jones just a pocket passer. And once we blitz him, we know Daniel Jones can be careless with the football at times, even though if he wants to scramble. Now, if we hit him good and we, make him not want to run the ball no more, it's going to cause some problems, and we're going to see more results coming out of that. And then the last thing is special teams. Last week, the Falcons didn't really do a good job in the special teams factor, pinning the offense down. So that's going to play a factor, and field goals as well. We got to execute on everything, every opportunity that presents itself. So, yeah.
Great point, guys.
I mean, I like that. I'm gonna piggyback off of that because I was about to say field position, because that is one of the only reasons I believe that we lost that game last week, because we were starting to heat up, and I believe that because of Cameron, what's his last name? Nizilik?
I don't know, bro.
I don't know, but if he mess up, he gone this week.
Yeah, this is his time to answer back. If he don't answer back, like every player has that opportunity to redeem themselves. It's only right. It's only fair. You know what I mean? So we'll see how he punts this week. Yeah, he's gonna get that opportunity again. I'm saying the same thing how we did with Mayfield. So he's gonna get another shot. Because I think he was honestly in his head, bro. He was in his head last week. So I think he's gonna get another opportunity. So if he doesn't show up, remember we bought in a veteran punter from Kansas City. So if he doesn't show up, then we moving on to the next punter.
Rich, I like you, man. And I know you're going to the game tomorrow. We both gonna be at the game tomorrow. But
my son Kendall gonna be there too.
You're so positive right now, man.
Shit.
You're seeing what this
I got you,
do, man. You see what Cam could do. I want to know, because one thing about MetLife Stadium, the wind swirls, and any kind of wind and whatnot, and that's why I said field position plays a factor. If there's any kind of wind, that wind is gonna mess with that kid, man. I'm telling you right now. My boy, shout out to my boy Stevie Lou. He says it. He's like, yo, that wind be swirling up in there, man. So if he didn't get it last week in the humidity, he better get it this week. Because that's it. It's pretty much it. Like, his ass will be grabbed. Now, if I'm the Giants, do what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did on special teams, and that's basically kick the ball out of the stadium. Do not kick that ball to Cordarrelle Patterson. Don't do it.
And they play that shit smart.
Don't be the first. Do not be the first.
And we got Avery Williams. Another dude.
And you got Avery Williams, yes.
I was getting ready to say, y'all Giants know Miracle at the Meadowlands. Y'all seen what Deshaun Jackson did to y'all years ago.
That was the old stadium.
Yeah, that was the old shit. That shit ain't going down no more.
That's across the street. It's a parking lot now.
That shit ain't going down no more.
There's a parking lot up there.
Y'all are hilarious, bro. Y'all come on anytime, bro, for sure.
Yo, anytime, bro. Whenever. Number two is that if I know that Billy Price is starting, and you got I meant to ask you how y'all feel about Will Hernandez.
So, I'll let my boy go first.
Before I even say my point, I just want to say how y'all feel about Will Hernandez.
Yeah, me
Before I
too.
say my point.
Will Hernandez, he's a curious case, man, because Saquon feels super comfortable with him. You'll see a lot of the plays that Saquon breaks open, it's through Will Hernandez. Like
Yeah.
literally through Will Hernandez. So it's like I feel super weird about him because it's the highs are incredibly high, but the lows are incredibly low. So it's like as a Giants fan, it's just 50-50. You know, if my running back feels super comfortable behind him, but my quarterback doesn't, it's like where am I going with that? You know, he's a great run blocker, a great mauler, he'll take it to the second level. Amazing. But then when it's pass protection,
Suspect.
you can't get lost out there.
And that's where I'm going to make my point because I'm seeing a lot of A gap blitzes, A and B gap blitzes straight at their ass out of Billy Price as well as Will Hernandez. Because I mean that's what you would have to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust Steven Means to generate consistent pressure. I mean he shows flashes every now and then. That's number 55. You'll see him. He'll be the one that's celebrating false start. So if you're Giants fans, like he'll be the one that jumping up and down for false starts, won't get no tackles. You'll see him tomorrow. Okay. My last point for at least for the Atlanta Falcons is turn this into be basically the Tennessee Titans South or Southeast. And I'm basically being, in fact, I say that is because Russell Gage is going to be out. You may have, Zacchaeus? You have Oz playing like that second wide receiver, right?
Zacchaeus, yeah.
Zacchaeus. So Zacchaeus might do it. Blake might spell him, and then you might have Tajay Sharp. So you might as well just, I think you said that, Twisted, right? To utilize the tight ends more?
You got to.
Yeah.
Tight ends and Cordell.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, we're going to have to attack their linebackers. I mean, I think you guys more so is going to play a lot of zone because I think that's your game, right? Y'all don't send a lot of heat. Y'all play a lot of zone, right?
Yeah, they expect that front four to get pressure. They got good front four.
It's a mix. But we ain't got X-Men. We ain't got X-Men. Well, I mean, once we had Zimenez kind of disrupt a lot of the stuff where a lot of the sacks was coming last year. I was seeing when he was in the game, but yeah.
But hey, they do got a good linebacker in Martinez now. Y'all know,
middle
linebacker.
linebacker.
He's good to me. He played for the Packers. I think he can guard Hayden. He can't guard Kyle.
Nah, nobody can guard Kyle Pitts. Come on.
But he can.
Nobody gonna be able to guard him. Yeah.
I can see him doing good versus Hayden though.
And take Crowder. He's excellent in the run game. Excellent. So Mike Davis is gonna have a long day. All of this.
Mike Davis might have a short day. Like the way he's been running lately.
Mike Davis had two. Mike Davis had two long ass weeks and shit. Where the hell is he at?
Yeah, we just can't be predictable of how Arthur Smith is calling the plays. You know, as long as we keep the Giants on their heels and we're not being predictable, we're gonna be fine. Go ahead.
Speaking of predictable, y'all better watch out for that third down draw that we love to run.
Oh yeah.
Man, you petty.
We got Foyer, Lucon, and Deion Jones. We didn't even mention that yet. We didn't even mention my boy Debo and Foyer yet. Watch out for Foyer because Foyer, he's big with that peanut punch. He know how to cause those turnovers, man. And Debo, he's playing a will linebacker this year, so he's not primarily in the middle. So when Saquon or who is it, Booker or whoever like that, who y'all got, and then third down percentage, whatever, during those key situations, Deion gonna have that on lock. You already know what he do. So we'll see how that goes.
I got a question for you Giants fans real quick. Despite y'all even said it yourselves, Jason Garrett is a terrible offensive coordinator, right? Are y'all surprised on how good Daniel Jones is doing despite that? At the start of the season?
Good question.
Go ahead. Who want to take it first?
Go ahead.
68% of his passes completing.
Yeah, he did a good one when Garrett was with the Cowboys. He did an excellent job with Dak. So I'm not really like I said, it's more so hit or miss with him. he does drop good little, plays, passing plays, but some of the stuff that his running plays, Saquon is not Ezekiel Elliott. He's not like run straight. He has to create and have that line, and to have a little gap for him to break. He can create off the cuff. We seen that for the first 2 seasons he was drafted. We had no offensive line. So, I mean, he just had to mix it up. He got to get out of that, traditional cowboy play that he was running with the Cowboys. That's why they were always losing and shit. So, I mean, at the end of the day, his passion is dope. I'm not the plays that he drew up for Daniel, and he's utilizing Daniel, in the run. And in the passing, it's the same way he was utilizing Dak. So I'm not surprised on that half. But the other stuff, I thought he would have kind of grew from that and kind of like looked at where his average was with the Cowboys. And he didn't, because we not really doing nothing with Ingram. He's always injured, and we not really doing nothing right now with Saquon.
Yeah, what's up with that dude, man?
So,
He played this week.
Okay. Yes. So that gives me to my next question for you guys too. Like, so that question I had, are y'all surprised about the hot start with him so far? Would y'all say y'all a running team? Now that y'all have
y'all got 3 receivers though.
Our quarterback is running.
Yeah. For me, it's 2 games in, and it's hard to gauge, what kind of team you are. Especially the Giants. Giants traditionally heat up at the end of the season. Towards the end of the season, same thing with last year. Normally, playoff runs, they heat up towards the end of the season. Just regarding Jason Garrett, I would like to see more combination routes. I would like to see more combination routes where you have, 2 stud receivers. We can say you have 2 stud receivers between Sterling and Kenny Galladay, right? And then you mix in guys like Darius Slayton, you mix in guys like Kadarius Toney, you have John Ross on the team. I would like to see more combination routes. If Kenny Galladay is having a separation issue, let's figure out a way to stack one side. Let's go 3-by-1. Or we have Evan Ingram coming back. Let's figure out a way. Like, I watched the Oakland Raiders do this perfectly, where they had a 3-by-1 set. You got Edwards, Henry Ruggs, and Renfro, and you have your ex, out there, and you take them off the line, so you can't get that press on them. So I just want to see more combination and get more imaginative with it. Use the guys you have speedsters. You guys could take the top off the defense. You have to look at that.
Is there something going on with Galladay and targets? Because I last week, I don't know. I seen Galladay cursing out Daniel Jones or some shit. I don't know.
So he was just frustrated. He was yelling at Garrett. They got over it. They spoke about it. Football. You play football. I play football. Majority of people here play football. Football's a game of emotion. So there's times that you're gonna act out and you really don't mean it. If I'm Kenny Galladay, I'll be mad too, because I want targets. If you looked at the end of, I want to say, was it Washington or whoever we played first? I can't remember.
It was the Broncos.
Yeah, the snags he had at the end of those games, like, just put it near him, he'll catch it. He's a receiver.
He's like definitely dope.
He's like that.
He's definitely going to be there. But Jason Garrett has to understand. Kenny Galladay over the past 5 years, I believe, is 2016, 2017. He has, the highest yards per catch average. So every ball he's getting is about 17 yards downfield. So it's like, give him the time. If we have these, gadgets, or use these gadget plays and have these combination routes, you give him the time to get down the field. You give him the time to run a post versus him, give him time to run that comeback route, versus him running 5-yard slant. That's not his game, bro. That's not his game.
That's a fact.
Another thing is, though, that they're thinking about, Galladay is a possession receiver. So Daniel has to be able to just throw it up to him in certain areas. And
that's why I was going.
He's not a person that creates separation like that. He catches tough passes. He catches
in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
In the red zone. That's what he was doing for the Lions. He was eating all day in that red zone. I think you could kind of take a lot of pressure up and mix it up, especially with Saquon when we get to the red zone. Just by tossing that shit up. He's just basically he's like Plexico in that vein where he could jump up and grab it and snag it. So Garrett just has to improve, bro. He just got to improve, and it's just his vanilla play calling. Like that shit is whack.
Calling
like,
plays like we in 2002.
Yeah, like that shit is whack. Like we
went through that last year. We went through that last year, bro. Trust me.
Yeah.
It'd be the worst.
But the Falcons know about Kenny Galladay the last time the Falcons played the Lions.
We heard you first time. We let you make it.
They just want to throw it there.
I was waiting for that one. I was like, you know what? We had a good stream. I'm not gonna send any shots.
Right.
Nah, it's all love.
Like I said, it's a mutual thing, so I can handle the slick talk.
Yo.
Yeah, Mag.
All right, y'all do shots fired. All right, I got y'all.
Just a little bit.
It's a little bit. I get you. It's always good talk, man. Like I said, people we be seeing in the comments sometimes. You know what I mean? But at this time, we're gonna put your questions in the comment section for Giants as well as Atlanta Falcons. Don't make it just like one-sided. If you want a way of scouting the competition, we have 3 guys right here that's very knowledgeable, that understand the position, understand football. So we got one question right here from Eric McDowell. What's up, brother? We always see you every week, man.
My brother.
Do you all think that we can benefit from a position switch from Gary and Mayfield? Lord have mercy. Who want to take this first? Rich?
I take it. I don't think so. I think with McGarry for his size, I don't think he'll do well in the inside at guard, because at guard you got to be real fast and you got to have that awareness to check on these blitzes and catch on to these stunts, primarily with the D line and when linebackers is coming. I think McGarry is fine where he's at. I think it was really more of him getting in shape, really. And I think some Falcons fans need to be patient and relaxed with McGarry. Like he showed exactly, had an injury, had a little heart condition, all that extra stuff. I think he's fine. He just got to cut that damn hair. The fuck he growing his hair for? I told you about that shit before. Like, I don't know who the hell he think he is, but he need to cut that hair. But besides that, McGarry is fine where he's at. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I'm straight on changing that, man. Mayfield has to get his reps in, and at the end of the day, we might have to move Mayfield to right tackle 3 or 4 years down the line if Caleb McGarry doesn't pan out. So let's just see how these guys gel, man. It's week 2. It's a new offensive scheme, a new offensive system. Let's see how they work their way into it.
Right.
Well, apparently, according to Prove It, he thinks McGarry, Lindstrom, and Hennessy is a bust.
You bugging, Prove It.
What?
You bugging.
Not
I ain't calling Lindstrom the bust, bro.
Wow.
I ain't calling Lindstrom the bust, bro. I ain't calling Lindstrom.
Take my hat off on that one. Excuse me. Said
Is he a Saints fan?
On Saturday, it be like that on Saturday.
Is he a Saints fan?
Huh?
Is Prove It a Saints fan, or am I tripping?
I don't know, bro.
Let me know in the chat, Prove It. Are you a Saints fan? I don't remember.
You gonna have to
Also,
prove
like,
to me
like
that Chris Lindstrom
the
is a bust. That's what you gonna have to prove.
Yeah, when it comes to bust, like how does everyone here gauge a bust? Like for me, I go from year 3 and out. Like the first 2-3 years, I'm like, yo, you know, you're getting accustomed to the NFL. You probably switch coordinators, coaches. How do you guys gauge a bust? For me, it's like after year 3.
Yep.
I mean, to me, it's like year 1 or 2.
Bro.
You're supposed to see like that's when you kind of like adjust your body to the NFL. You know, that's why I think Kyle Pitts is actually going to start getting even more. He's going to start looking like Giannis. Like you remember, like when Giannis was like really skinny, and then all of a sudden,
I was like, he needs to bulk up. Yeah.
Like I think that's what happened. You're going to see from year 1 to year 2, you're going to see like an improvement. Year 2 to 3, you got to see a jump, because year 4, you're looking like if you want to sign this guy, you know, long term or not. So me personally, it's like 2 to 3. Yeah, 2 to 3 is long enough for you to see like, okay, is this guy that you really want to invest in, or you're going to have to draft his replacement or sign his replacement? You know, so. In terms of McGarry, this is like sink or swim for him, you know?
Yeah.
You know,
they drafted Mayfield for a reason.
Yeah, because Lindstrom is straight, you know, and I believe that we're going to re-sign Gano, and he might just like, you know, ride out at that right tackle position. And I think we'll just keep Mayfield at left guard, because Gano was actually doing well at right tackle, so he's fine. He was a swing tackle, so why even put Mayfield out there? We already got Gano, and we could probably sign him for cheap. You know, because he's hurt right now. So we could give him like a little incentive-based contract and just have him out there at right tackle. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
My bad, prove it. My bad, prove it.
We got it. We got a question. Got a question.
Do you think do you guys think the Giants defense is legit this year? That's for you guys right there, man. Ken and Kendall, yo, y'all can answer that.
As long as Patrick Graham can get out that damn dollar defense, we'll be fine. And I feel like in our secondary, we're going through a little controversy because I don't think we're gonna re-sign Jabril, so we're kind of pushing him out of the equation, and we're playing more of a Logan Ryan and McKinney type of deal. But I mean, once we figure it out, come week 5, we can be solidified. But our defense, it is legit, but we just got to find what our identity is. I figured we don't know what our identity is right now, so give it 2-3 weeks, we'll figure out what it was. Because last year we were ball hawks. Turnovers after turnovers after turnovers.
Yeah.
I ain't seen no big turnover yet, but it's still early, so that's just my opinion.
Bradbury had the big turnover last game.
Oh yeah, the pick.
He jumped the wall.
Yeah, the pick.
Yeah, that was big.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah,
Bradbury that deal, bro.
Was the offensive play calling.
Yeah, I'm just looking for our defense to make that next turn, man. Just getting off the field on third downs, and our pass rush. Leonard Williams, I'm watching. We paid him his big money. What he gonna do? He had a big season last year to get this contract, so I'm just looking at him to take that next step this year because his biggest problem was before he could never get the sack. Now last year he changed that. He was getting sacks.
11.5.
So that was a big improvement. Now we paid him his money. Let's see if you continue that.
Yeah.
Dexter Lawrence, he's doing what he did. We traded BJ Hill, which I was a little sad about, but it's part of the business. But Dexter Lawrence, he's good in the run. We got rid of Tomlinson, 2 years ago or last year? 2 years ago. I was mad about the most because he was that hog mug, clogging the middle. Nobody was running on his side.
That hurt me.
They're gonna do a lot of wide zone though, man. Dexter Lawrence better be ready and he better be in shape because we're gonna tie his ass out. I'll tell you that now.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. It's like, yo, Kendall, you hit the nail on the head with that, man. And basically, you're saying like, just everybody just relax. I mean, we all lost one game in the preseason, and there's a lot of good teams out there that's getting onto a slow start because they don't even know what they are. A lot of teams drafted people, and they were trying to see about depth, about who's really going to make the team. You already know who your starters are going to be, unless you have like a new quarterback or something like that, like the Bears or Jacksonville. You had to play like your new guys and your starters to get that cohesiveness. But if you have like a veteran team like the New York Giants and the Atlanta Falcons, it's like you already know particularly who your starters are. You don't know who your second or third string guys are going to be, and you have to play those guys within 3 games and still try to implement a new offense and a new defense. So what exactly did you really expect was going to happen week 1 and week 2? You know,
I'm not a fan of the 17-week season. I'm really not a fan because you're still having tryouts up until the 3rd, 4th week of the season. And, you know, injuries, splitting people out, people being on pitch counts. So, like, I'm not a fan of the 17-week season. You know, it's a money grab more so than anything. But I'm like, yo, I feel like we're getting into week 4, week 5 of the season, and we're still having, you know, auditions. Does that make sense?
Well, that's the players union for you. You know, the players union, like they're the worst in terms of like the sports in terms of in North America. It's like they're the worst. You know, like they're the ones that always conform to everything. You know, like baseball's probably the best, and then NBA comes right after them, and you know, then it's us. You know what I'm saying? Where it doesn't even matter. Like they just came out of nowhere. It was like 17 game season. It was like when the hell did that happen?
Okay, this is something that I want to ask you guys. I want to ask you guys this as well because with NBA, baseball, and you know hockey, they leverage their star players versus NFL. No one is bigger than the shield. Now we're seeing it where players are coming out and saying, "Hey, we should have stood with Kaepernick, or we should have stood with what's my guy? He played for the Saints. He was the president of he was the president, and he went against DeMaurice Smith. I'm forgetting his name. We had Dominic Foxworthy as well.
Michael Jenkins.
Before Malcolm Jenkins. Before him. Before Malcolm Jenkins, because you had Dominic Foxworthy, and you had all those guys there Where
Okay.
do you feel like, again, NFL, we have so many football players that you can plug and play pretty much, but do you feel like it would make an impact if you had somebody like Brady step up and say, hey, I'm not playing for this? Because for me also, I like, just from understanding business as well, you have to leverage that star power. So I feel like when you in football, when you have people taking the break and not leveraging that star power, that hurts your contractual agreements later on. So I just wanted to know how you guys feel about that.
But this is what happens with that, because you see how they leverage star power. Remember how like last year everything seemed so fun and everybody was having a good time and players were celebrating and whatever like that, and then all of a sudden this year you see all this
no
they dropped the
taunting.
hammer on a taunting rule, right? So you can't even celebrate.
Do you know who was the head of that?
I got
John Mara.
You know what I'm saying? So
John Mara was the head of that. I don't know, and I like seeing players have the power. Like even though I know Tampa Bay is in your division, I love seeing Brady being able to go down to Tampa and get a few guys down there with him. Like basketball, people complain about it. Baseball, people complain about it. But I believe players are the people who are putting their bodies on the line. So I feel like you should leverage that star power. You can, And I feel like organizations like the Bucks understand that. Like, hey, this is Brady. Brady's gonna bring us a championship. We're gonna bring in whoever he asks for. Aaron Rodgers went through it with Green Bay. Green Bay doesn't have an owner. He went through it with Goose the Goose, whatever the guy's name is. So I just feel like NFL should leverage that star power. As players should do that as often as they can, so you don't get a fucking 17-game season.
Well, the way that you leverage that star power is like they're going to have to strike or do something because their contracts are absolutely garbage. Because they can cut you just off of GP, like an owner could cut you off of GP just to save money. Yeah, for this having this is saying like, contract detrimental to the team. Like you could just get cut off of that. I mean, look what happened with Odell. You know what I'm saying? So you may be able to recoup some of your money or whatever like that, but you're going to get screwed in the long term. So the whole idea is like if they're going to make a change, they're going to have guaranteed contracts. Like whatever it is, whatever you play for, just like the NBA
Kirk
and
Cousins'
MLB.
agent belongs in the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Who? Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins. This dude got $84 million guaranteed and didn't win a playoff. Dude never sniffed the playoffs, bro. And he had $84 million guaranteed. I was like,
that's what happens when that's like basic economics, supply and demand. The Minnesota Vikings always had a great defense and never had a quarterback to get them over the hump. It just so happens, what's his name? Like your boy just happened to become a free agent. That's what happens. You become free. You can negotiate against yourself. But don't forget, Washington, I think, franchised him like 2 or 3 times before that.
2 straight years.
Yeah, so he was getting market value before that, and then got the $84 million guarantee. So that's basic economics.
That's wild.
He robbed them blind.
That's wild.
What's that question down there? It says
He doing all right this year though.
Do you guys think
question,
the Giants
right?
can win the NFC East? That's Eric McDowell. He said, "Do you guys think the Giants can win the NFC East?" Honestly, I hope y'all do because if the Cowboys win, Cowboys fans don't know when to shut the hell up. So y'all better win that NFC East, man.
Don't get me started with Cowboys fans.
Yeah, that's a different.
I feel like
talk.
anybody in the NFL can talk about that.
I'm about to be like Stephen A. Smith to Cowboy fans. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with them.
Yeah.
But as far as the Giants
They
winning the
delusional.
division, being realistic with myself, I don't see us winning the division, but I can see us putting up a dogfight in a wild card match. So us winning the division realistically right now, the way we playing, my opinion, honest opinion is nah. The way we playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying that you see how Ken was saying earlier, he's not really a fan of the 17-game season, and this is why they put this in place because of situations like that. So wild card and all that stuff where guys gonna have to play that last game. You're not gonna be able to rest your starters the way how you might think. And the last few weeks of the season, this is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be, skeptical. Exactly. Guys gonna have a chance. The team's going to need somebody to lose. What you gonna say, J-Rock?
So funny about their division though, and it's every year. See, y'all can afford to go down 0-3. That won't bother y'all because that's just how y'all division is set up. Anybody can win that division. Unlike us, no, we can't afford to go down no 0-3. It's just y'all division is always up for grabs. It's always, oh dang, we expect Washington to make it. Oh snap, and then the Cowboys, and then, oh snap, the Giants. I feel like it's
Philly,
anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's never the same. The same team that wins
This
the
don't
division.
make the Cowboys make it.
And if they do win the division, it's what 7-9. It's up for grabs. That's what's like. Y'all can afford to go down 0-3 and still make the playoffs somehow because that's just how y'all division are. But based on how y'all schedule is, that's a different story.
See, J-Rock is like,
they
go
can
ahead
win
and
division games, though. I feel like they can win division games, though. In all honesty, I think they can compete with the Giants, Cowboys, and Washington.
Yeah, I feel like I can definitely win those. Yeah,
they all have weaknesses in a sense, and I believe the Giants can take advantage of their weaknesses.
Competitive in some way.
Yeah.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see how Jameis Winston and Sam Darnold pans out. You know, we're gonna see them soon. But because I know a lot of people don't expect us to win division at all. But you know, we're gonna see the Bucks again. You know, we played a good game against the Bucks, so they're gonna come back to us. And we Dean Pease know how to attack Tom Brady. So and the Bucks definitely was panicking. I know you mentioned it a lot, Twisted, on your show when you was talking about when you was covering the Bucks game. But we'll see how it pans out in our division with Jameis and Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to the G-Man, bro. Shout out to the G-Man. I shouted y'all out a lot in my video I did last night, so y'all check that out. I brought up all the key factors and the players y'all talked about. So I'm already up to speed with the G-Man based on my boy down there, Picasso with a pen. But we got a show coming up. Mad Mike is on another show, so let's give everybody in the chat an applause for being on with us for an hour and a half. Appreciate all the G-Man for joining us, man. It's a blessing to have 3 straight G-Man show up. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Let's go ahead and finish it off, man.
Always invited back, man.
Yeah, so
back. Don't even matter,
we'll do this. So we'll do score
thank
predictions.
You guys for the hospitality, man.
Yeah, of course, bro. So we'll do score predictions and final thoughts. So I guess we'll start it off with with the G-Man. Y'all can head off. We start off with Picasso, Ken Commission, and Kendall, and then we go from there.
All right, yeah, man. I think it's gonna be a dope game. Like I said, it's definitely gonna be entertaining. Hopefully, it does be entertaining. Or hopefully, it don't be like no snoozer like that Thursday night game. But yeah, it's definitely be a dope game. Both of us is kind of like, I believe one team, it's kind of like the arrows is pointing up in our favor more so because we got that youth behind in that pocket, and we got players coming back off of injury and getting more healthy, and then we kind of like building our continuity. We got to work out a little few kinks with this discipline. On you guys end of the field, I think y'all fans is kind of like where we was at with Eli, you know what I'm saying, a few years ago and stuff like that. So I'm gonna ride with my team, though. I'm gonna keep it short. I'm gonna ride with my team, man. I think we gonna do what we gonna do. I think that O gonna go. We gonna be 1-2, and we gonna be in that fight. But it's gonna be a good game. Both of the teams got the same problems as far as the offense and on the defensive side of the field. But I'm gonna ride with my team. G-Man all day, every day.
Yes, sir.
What's the score?
The score? Shit. Oh, wait. 21-14. 21-14.
So defensive game.
Yup. 21-14. Yeah.
Okay.
Yup. 21-14.
All right. Go ahead, Commissioner.
That's a pretty low scoring affair. I think Evan Ingram coming back, that opens up a lot of running lanes because you guys have Deion Jones and you guys have the other linebackers out there. I feel like they're gonna try to bring those linebackers out with Evan Ingram out there, and you also have what's my guy Rudolph out there as well. So I think we're gonna see a lot of twin tight end sets because that opens up the run game, and that also it does well for the RPO. So I believe that is gonna help Saquon tremendously, and I think 35-30 Giants.
Ooh, barn burner.
Wow.
Okay. Kendall?
That's somewhat the ballpark area I was going with, but my final thoughts on the game, I feel like it's gonna be a tough game both sides, but I feel like whoever stops the opponent on third down the most wins the game. And whoever could capitalize on turnovers wins the game. And I'm gonna go with final score 27-20 Giants. And we score that last 7 points to win the game on defense.
Oh, God.
Maggie Ice is going to turn that ball over in a key situation.
Oh.
In a key situation. That's it. That's my opinion. My opinion. And I'm going to be at that game live. Me and Rich can be at that game. I hope we don't get kicked out the stadium. But
no, I'm gonna be there too, bro. I'm gonna be there too.
We outside.
Yeah, we're gonna link up, bro. We're gonna link up before the game, bro. It's gonna be a movie, man.
Yeah.
Word.
J-Rock, what you got, bro?
Man. I feel like this is gonna come down to the last possession of the game. I'm going to say 30-27 our way, Atlanta.
Okay. Rich?
Yeah, man. So this is gonna be a good game, man, for sure. Definitely going 4 quarters all the way.
A blowout.
Down to the wire. Now I just had to throw my shots. That was my shot. That was my shot for the show. You feel me? That was my only shot. You know, everybody threw their shots in there. That was my shot. But for the most part, I think the score is going to be 27-17. Falcons winning the game. You know, so it's going to be a big game off turnovers, all of that, like we said. Definitely appreciate all y'all for tuning in on the show. You know, that represented well for y'all team. You know, kudos to y'all. So definitely welcome back to come on anytime.
Appreciate it.
You know, Falcons fans as well. You know, showing love. Definitely like the comment, share the content out. You know, yeah. So spread the word out too. I know y'all got friends from other teams as well. You know, this is a place where you know you could talk football. So yeah, that's all.
Yeah,
that's the fact.
So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have Twisted. You got the biggest follow. I'm gonna let you end last, man. You gonna get the mic for today, man. But what I got, because last thing that we want, because people must have forgot who this man was, and you know, even though Matt Ryan did turn the ball over, you know, late in the game, you know, last week, the last thing that you want is this man with the ball in his hand with less than 2 minutes left, especially with the way we have with our kicker and the way we have with our weapons. I trust this man with less than 2 minutes left. He has to drive the ball to get a field goal for a go-ahead win. But I don't think that we're going to get that chance because I actually got similar to what Rick said. I actually have like a 2-score game. I have like 28-14 Giants. Oh, excuse me, 28-14 Falcons. What am I talking about?
He said it. He said it. He bleed blue.
Somebody getting real too excited for the game tomorrow. hey, no. You know what it is though? You actually watching the game in New York. I think that's what it is.
No, it's like I'm already tailgating right now, man. I got my.
I got y'all. Trust me.
Right.
Wow, today, bro.
28-14 Falcons. Nah, Picasso, you ain't getting that, man.
Oh man.
Nah, man. Yeah, but you know that's it. But I'm gonna see, you know, Kendall. I'm gonna see Rich at the game with the drip. You know, down there, damn near at the 50-yard line. You know, I'm so mad at you about that, Rich. You know,
halftime, bro. We're gonna move you down to halftime, bro. Don't worry.
Yo.
Hold on. This is a question for you. This is a question for you and Rich, since we're part of the tri-state area. I want to know, what is your origin stories? How did y'all become Falcon fans? Don't tell me Michael Vick.
Let's hit this one.
How did you guys become Falcon fans?
I'll go first. All right, one. All right,
Okay.
with the Giants, right? I couldn't deal with just like the way how they was just losing games. Like it was just too heartbreaking for me to watch, and it was just disgusting.
What
To
year
really
you became a
answer,
Falcons fan again?
hold on, I got you,
What
brother.
year?
Relax.
Yeah.
To really answer
I
your
need
question,
timestamps.
I got you. I became listen now. I became
I
a
need
Falcon
timestamps.
fan. I became a Falcon fan in 2014. Okay. Now the reason why I became a
2000
Falcon
what?
fan.
2000 what?
14. The reason why I became
14,
a Falcon fan is because throughout my whole life, I always bleed red and black. Since Pop Warner played for the Brooklyn Renegades, we bleed
Yeah,
red
the
and
Renegades,
black. High
Boys and
school.
Girls.
Yeah, you know this story already.
Yeah.
I've been through this. Another thing, we're in the tri-state area, everybody is Giants fans and all this other stuff. Like, I'm not a bandwagon type of dude. And it's not me and my son Kev here. We holding it down for Falcons fans in New York. And it's just like, it's rare that you would see a Falcons fan. And me personally, myself, I am my own leader. I am my own boss. So it's like, I don't like to follow the trend of like other people. And I wanted to be different and stand out. And everybody
I'm
know
not going
what's
to be
up.
heartbroken with my fellow New Yorkers. I'm going to be heartbroken with the Georgians.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
And I know the potential.
1,000 miles away.
Not even because going into me being a Falcon fan, me making that wise decision, and I would not regret it. And I'm yup. I don't care. Nobody said. I bleed this shit. I don't give a fuck.
Hey, he wouldn't be here if he didn't make that transition.
Okay, so now we got to get Kev.
I'm gonna say real quick.
I want to hear Kev's origin story.
I'm gonna say real quick, because right here, that man right there. Now, one day I was sitting there. I used to watch the Giants when they had Rodney Hampton and Dave Meggett and Dave Brown at quarterback and whatnot, and it just seemed pretty kind of like lame. So I was kind of like a casual fan at that time. I wasn't like a diehard football fan. So when I first started really watching football, it was 1998. And 1998, this team had a lot of swag. Every time that they were scoring, they was dancing, doing a Dirty Bird dance. And I was like,
yeah, the Dirty Bird,
like red and black. Yeah, so I'm sitting there, I'm like, what is this? And then I started following them, and then I just so happened to, because up here in New York, you're not going to get a lot of, this is before direct TV and all this kind of stuff. So the only time that you would see the Falcons is like if they was like in the playoffs. So they just happened to be in the playoffs during 1998 against the Minnesota Vikings, and I was sitting there going through it during that game. And I'm like, we ain't going when they got Randy Moss and Chris Carter. You know what I'm saying? This guy, I was like, we ain't going to win this game. They happened to go to the Super Bowl. And that's when I really started getting in. I was like, I'm just going to follow this team. This is what I'm going to team I'm going to be rocking with. So 1998. Now, I would also like to tell you, Deion Sanders really started getting me into wanting to play football. But 1998 was the team that I watched, and I'm like, I'm going to rock with this team for for the rest of my time. You know what I'm saying? It was the dirt. That's what it was. It was that stupid dance, that got me into it. But it was swag. That's what it was. It was the swagger. And I love that city too. I love everything about Atlanta, man. Like their swagger down there is sick. So I love that city. I love the people down there, all that.
You love the women down here. That's what it is. Jumping, lemon pepper Lou, hot wings. Like, come on, bro.
I can't wait. I can't wait to go to the stadium as well, because I know Arthur Blank. He's big for the fans and for the community and stuff, and I like what they do there. I went to Atlanta as well. I didn't have a chance to check the stadium out, but I definitely plan on catching a game down there and get that good fan experience over there, Mercedes-Benz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all was
Kev, I respect.
He's a recent fan.
No. I respect your story. You see how your story, it has reverence. It's taking me on a journey to Dirty Bird, the DBs, the swagger. I understand that.
That has nothing to do with anything.
Rich, you just said you were tired. You were tired of the heartbreak. If you became a fan in 2014, that means we're 2.5 years removed from the championship.
No, look. That was just me watching football. Kendall is attest to this, and you're attest to this too. I was a fan of football, period. I looked at football just as in like it's any given Sunday. Look, it's any given Sunday. Like, what's the point of picking a team? This shit is just so hard. Anybody could pick until my college coach, my defensive coordinator, shout out to Coach Higgins. He told me what's the point of being a football fan. That's the point. Like, it's so hard and all that stuff. So then during that time in 2014, that was my sophomore year in college. I was thinking like, hold on, I might as well like pick the team that I like, and then I can stick with where I'm not a bandwagon or not. And Kendall is attest to this. Are you not?
I mean, yeah.
On live? All right.
Say
That's
what
what I'm
you
saying.
said,
Also, it is not bandwagoning to cheer for your hometown team. It is not bandwagoning to cheer for your hometown team.
There you go.
Only if you feel like they have no wrong in them. You could be impartial. You could be a fan, but not be a fanatic. There's people that's like I said, Dallas Cowboy fans, where you can't say no wrong about their team.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? There's Knicks fans.
New Yorkers were the opposite.
No wrong about their team.
And don't get it twisted too. Don't get it twisted.
We can talk the worst. We can speak the worst.
Hold on.
We created the Bronx cheer. Remember, we boo our people.
Wait. Have you spoken to Knicks fans, right?
What's up?
You know how some Knicks fans are, right?
Oh no, of course.
Right,
they believe they win the chip every year. But New Yorkers, we're like, we can talk shit about our squad. You can't talk shit about our squad. You know, like the worst shit is gonna come from us versus other fans.
I feel like it's the same way in Atlanta too, though. We dog talk. Some of our fans dog talk the shit out of our team. We keeping it G. You done heard some Falcons fans go crazy and spaz on Atlanta before.
He talks smack about our quarterback because he's white. They talk smack about our quarterback because he's white. That's what it is.
That's a tough one,
That's
bro.
all it is. But but Twister, go ahead and finish it off, man. That was funny.
I was gonna tell y'all, Picasso is from Brownsville, New York. I was gonna tell you that he's from Brooklyn too. But as far as the score, I like all y'all scores. I'm gonna say 31-24. I think they're gonna kick a field goal to win the game. As you said, Matt Ryan is known for ending games on field goals. It's hard for him to score touchdowns, but he's known for kicking field goals to win games. So I think the score will be 31-24. Matt Ryan's gonna drive him down. Young Hoku's gonna kick the field goal to win the game.
And there you have it, man. We just went down memory lane, talking about why we became Falcons fans in New York. One day, we got to get up. We got to go to that watering hole. You heard about that? But we got to go up to the Falcons bar, man. We got to chop it up there too. Mm-hmm. That's an invite to you, Kamish, and to you, Kendall. We'll chop it up there, man. All right.
So, and for y'all that's going to the game, y'all better have a blast. And y'all better take pictures too, man.
I'll be drunk.
Oh yeah. Okay. I don't know if y'all ever been to MetLife, right? I don't know if y'all ever been to MetLife. No, Chubbs. I don't know if y'all ever been to MetLife, but literally, as you make your way in, there's this place called the what is it called? It's called the Bud Light. It's called the Bud Light entrance. So when you go back there, you're gonna see like this little. Yeah, you're gonna see this silver shiny thing called the Lombardi. So you guys should definitely take a photo of that as you make your way in.
Oh man,
I like that. They said we're gonna come back. They want us to come back after the game. Man. So after the game, we always do a post game anyway. So we're gonna have some of our other Falcons Fans Nations affiliates. They'll be on running a post game. I don't know if you'll be on there, J-Rock. But we'll tune into that. Y'all prove it. Be on the lookout for that. We'll definitely be a post game. If y'all want to come in and I want to talk about it, see what happens after the game, y'all more than welcome to do so. So yeah.
And lastly, let me say this, man. The last time MetLife was when I was there for WrestleMania. So let's not even talk about Lombardi Trophy or whatever like that. The last time that stadium was rocking, man. WrestleMania and John Cena was there. That was it.
Oh man, y'all good people, man.
Wow, it's okay.
But that's what we want to go on that end. That's a dub right now. We appreciate Kendall, the commish. We appreciate Picasso for coming on, J-Rock for taking time out of his day. You know, Rich, you know, we in there. And, of course, we wouldn't be anything without, you know, the superstar above my head, Twisted. Subscribe to their channels. And
Oh, yeah,
this is
definitely.
Mr. Magnus signing off. Yo, we're going to see y'all tomorrow. Drunk as hell.
Peace.